Hi, and welcome to this next thrilling episode of Pictures on My Mind. I'm Edward Thompson, and this is a follow-up video to the Photoland Does It Exist episode. Spoiler, it doesn't. Spoiler, it does.
Surprise, motherfucker.
And this video is all about Photoland existing and how to destroy it. And the reason I know all this is I asked ChatGPT all about Photoland. I think there's a shadowy cabal of people running the art photo industry. And I was like, who would be the most likely people to be in that kind of network of Photoland? And this is what it had to say. In the hypothetical concept of Photoland, members might include individuals who hold significant influence within the UK photography scene. These individuals could come from various roles within the industry. While this is speculative, here are some categories of people who could be part of such a group. Number 1, prominent curators. Curators of major galleries and institutions who have the power to decide which artists and exhibitions receive exposure. Number 2, esteemed art critics and academics. Respected critics and academics who shape the discourse around photography and influence how certain works are perceived. Number 3, renowned fine art photographers. Established fine art photographers whose work and reputation carry weight within the industry. Number 4, gallery owners and directors. Owners and directors of influential art galleries that showcase photography, as they can help shape which artists gain visibility. Number 5, arts administrators and funders. Individuals who control funding for photography projects, grants and awards, allowing them to steer resources towards their preferred artists and initiatives. Number 6, arts consultants and curators. Consultants who advise collectors on which artists to invest in and collectors who can shape the market by supporting certain photographers. Number 7, influential art magazine editors. Editors of well-regarded arts publications who can determine which artists and projects receive coverage and attention. Number 8, key industry event organisers. Organisers of photography festivals, fairs and events that can spotlight specific artists and movements. Number 9, established photographic educators. Professors and educators who train the next generation of photographers and influence the development of artistic practices. And in at number 10, arts dealers. Agents and dealers who represent photographers and facilitate their visibility and sales. That's a lot of people. Damn, that's a lot of people in Photoland. Whew. I don't know about you, but I don't know what we're going to do. So next I asked ChatGPT, okay, so we've got this core group of the cabal of Photoland. How are they communicating? How are they communicating their signals to each other of what's hot and what's not? And this is what ChatGPT had to say. The concept of a secretive group like Photoland controlling the art photography industry might be intriguing, but it's important to note that the art world is complex and diverse, and while there are influential figures, it's unlikely that a single cabal could completely control the industry. However, let's explore the hypothetical scenario you've described. Number 1, communication channels. Private conferences and gatherings. Members of Photoland might attend exclusive art events, conferences and gatherings where they can discuss trends, strategies and collaborations. Online forum and groups. They might use password-protected forums, chat groups or social media platforms to communicate discreetly about their activities. And number 3, networking events. Arts exhibitions, gallery openings and other industry events can provide opportunities for members to exchange ideas and form alliances. Number 2, curatorial influence. Members could strategically curate exhibitions to promote certain artists and styles, shaping the public's perception of what's valuable in the art photography world. Award manipulation. Photoland members might use their influence to sway the outcomes of prestigious photography awards, promoting their favoured artists and projects. 3, art funding control. By directing funding to specific projects or artists, Photoland members could impact which artistic endeavours receive financial support and exposure. Art critique and validation. Through their positions as critics and academics, they could influence critical reception and validate certain works, shaping the narrative around those pieces. Artist promotion. Members might personally mentor or sponsor artists they consider promising, elevating their status within the industry. I'm convinced ChatGPT, that sounds totally plausible. But why do we not know about it? Okay, so I asked ChatGPT next about, how are they maintaining their secrecy, the secrecy of Photoland. Limited membership. Photoland might limit its membership to a select few, ensuring that only those who align with their objectives are part of the group. Opaque decision-making. Important decisions could be made in closed-door meetings, reducing the risk of leaks or exposure.
Ignorance is bliss.
Insider collaborations. Members could collaborate on projects that appear independent on the surface, but are actually coordinated efforts to influence the industry. Diversion tactics. Photoland members might encourage debates and controversies to divert attention from their activities, allowing them to operate more discreetly. Creating trends. By promoting certain artistic themes or styles, they could shape the direction of the industry and maintain their influence. I don't know about you, but this all sounds totally real now. Totally invested. Photoland is real. So my last question that I asked ChatGPT is, how do we destroy Photoland? ChatGPT. The concept of destroying Photoland is a fictional idea since it's based on a speculative scenario. However, if you're considering ways to disrupt or challenge a hypothetical group with significant influence, here are a few fictional scenarios that might be explored. And you know what? Some of these are really good ideas. I think they are. So let's go for it. Transparency campaign. Organise a movement advocating for greater transparency and accountability within the art photography industry. This could involve exposing hidden agendas, demanding open decision-making processes, and encouraging more diversity in leadership roles. Sounds good to me. Number 2, alternative platforms. This is cool. This is a good one. Create alternative platforms and spaces for artists, photographers and critics who feel marginalised by Photoland's influence. These platforms could provide exposure to underrepresented voices and challenge the dominant narrative. Also sounds pretty good. Collaborative initiatives. Foster collaborations between photographers, curators, academics and critics outside of the Photoland circle. Encourage cross-disciplinary projects and events that highlight a broader range of perspectives. Sounds pretty cool. So maybe we need to just work out who's not in Photoland and make our own Photoland. No, don't do that. 4, public awareness campaign. Raise public awareness about the potential biases and limitations of Photoland's influence. Use media, social networks and exhibitions to engage the public in critical discussions about art and its gatekeepers. Well, hell man, isn't that what I'm doing right now? New funding channels. Establish new funding channels for emerging photographers and innovative projects that challenge Photoland's preferences. This could redirect financial support towards initiatives aligned with broader artistic visions. There's a lot of these, isn't there? A lot of good ideas here. Educational reforms. Advocate for educational reforms that encourage a more diverse and inclusive curriculum in photography programs. This might lead to the emergence of new perspectives and styles that challenge Photoland's status quo. Wowie wee-wah. I like the sound of that. Digital disruption. Leverage digital platforms to create alternative online spaces and allow photographers to showcase their work and engage with audiences directly, bypassing traditional gatekeepers. Media investigations. Wow. Support investigative journalism that looks into the practices, biases and potential conflicts of interest with Photoland, fostering greater public understanding. That's right, Photoland, we're coming for you. And finally, inclusivity initiatives. Promote initiatives that actively seek to include and elevate artists from diverse backgrounds and perspectives, disrupting the established hierarchy. Oh yeah. So it's a bit of a silly video, all right? I know Photoland doesn't exist, okay? But I know, it can feel like there's some weird hierarchical structure that's kind of, looking after themselves and their mates and their buddies and blah, blah, blah. They were pretty good responses, right? For how might you destroy Photoland. I hadn't even read them. I just wrote it in and cut and pasted it and thought I'd just read it live now. And some of these are really good. Transparency campaign, I know in the past some photographer friends of mine who've had blogs, they've seen some corruption and called it out. Lewis, talking to you. Alternative platforms, again, I can think of, I think there's an app. Oh, I hope I get this right, is it Photo? So there's some people trying to start a new kind of social media for photographers and they've been working on that for a little while. Collaborative initiatives, foster collaboration between photographers, creators, academics outside of the Photoland circle. Well, you know what? I think that happens anyway. Because the people who are in this kind of Photoland, they're so kind of exclusive, they force so many people to not be involved. Those people who are outside naturally help each other anyway, because that's who you're going to turn to, right? Is the people like you, the people who aren't quite in the club. Public awareness campaign, you know what? I don't think we need to do investigative journalism to smash Photoland. I think if you're going to do some investigative journalism, there's some stuff going on in governments and stuff. Might be worth a look. Don't worry about Photoland, okay? New funding channels, again, that's a tricky one because, I don't know how you do that. I mean, it would all depend on the people who are distributing the funding and kind of what they're doing. But yeah, like a whole host of really good ideas there. So even if Photoland doesn't exist, some of those pieces of advice are really cool. So thank you, ChatGPT. A little bit disappointed with all the bits where you were like, the concept of destroying Photoland is a fictional idea, but I see what you're doing. I see you.